We are doing a do-it-yourself camo paint job here in your backyard. A lot of people think painting your gun is very difficult, but I'm gonna show you today it's pretty easy and quick to do. That being said, let's talk about what we're gonna need for this project. The first thing is a degreaser spray. It's optional, but I think it's good to do. The second thing is your paint, and we're gonna be using a bunch of different spray paints that I'll show you here in a sec. And the third thing is your stencils or some leaves or whatever you wanna use to create the camo patterns. So let me show you all that here, and let's begin the process. As far as what we're painting today, this is a Foxtrot Mike's Mike 102. Another thing to point out that I already did here is you want to tape off the parts that you do not want to put paint on. So I did it on the charging handle, the muzzle device, actually here where the charging handle reciprocates, where there's a lot of grease and stuff. And then also on the mag. This is a windowed mag, so I went ahead and taped off the clear spot so that way we don't paint over it. The next thing we're gonna do is go ahead and degrease the gun. So I'm using this Zep heavy duty citrus degreaser. So just spray it on and then wipe this off. Go ahead and wipe this down. Once you have it degreased and wiped down, the next thing is to start painting your base layer. And again, we are gonna be using some stencils. These are from Rattler Innovations, and this is for an M81 Woodland pattern. For this pattern here, the first thing it calls for is a flat enamel protective on a brown, so flat brown Rust-Oleum. So this is the first base layer. The second color we're gonna be using is a Rust-Oleum flat deep forest green. The next color after that is a flat khaki, the camo Rust-Oleum one as well. And then lastly, we have a flat black camo Rust-Oleum as well too. So with that, again, let's do our base layer here with the flat protective enamel in brown. So I'm gonna go ahead and shake this up and start doing the base layer. Another thing to make sure and do is close your dust cover because we don't want to get paint in your bolt carrier. All right, we'll wait a little bit and let that dry. Now that that's dry, let's go ahead and grab stencil 1 from our stencil kit here. We're gonna place it on the rear. And the first color we're gonna be doing is the flat deep forest green. So let's go ahead and apply that. Then we'll go ahead and move the stencil over. And then we'll move it again. And then we'll move it maybe one more time. All right, looks good. So now same thing, we're gonna let that dry and then we're gonna come back with the next stencil. Now that we let that dry, we're on to stencil number 2 that we have. So we're gonna go ahead and lay this down. And I did have another mag, so I started painting that one again too, but we're gonna go ahead and get that caught up with the camo here. For the second stencil and our third overall color, it is the flat khaki camo. So let's go ahead and use that now. All right, this is looking pretty cool now. We are now on our third and final stencil here, and for this one, we are gonna be using the camo flat black here, and this is a smaller stencil, so we're gonna just be filling in a couple spots here. All right, this looks pretty sick, not gonna lie. So we got this side done here. So all we need to do now is flip it over, repeat the same process, and you're good to go. All right, once you let everything dry, last thing to do is to remove all the tape. So satisfying. All right, and there you have it. You got the M81 Woodland camo all set on this. And I'm gonna be honest, this looks pretty sick, way better than I thought. Only thing to note here, I probably should have let it dry a little bit more in between coats, but that's all right. We're gonna have a nice battle-worn finish on top of this camo anyway. But just a reminder, make sure and let things dry. Hopefully this was helpful, and please give a like and a comment down below what your thoughts are on spray painting your firearm. And if you have spray painted your gun before, let me know down in the comments what your favorite camo or color is to paint your gun. Make sure and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.